right, we'll click record. Bam. We are recording again. Howdy, everybody. Before we even hit record, because some people can't wait, we talked about our topic for this time around. So I think we're going to do Christmas movies. And there's a lot of good stuff there. So I'm not going to talk about it anymore because I want to get right. We'll save it for the episode. I don't want to use up all of our good stuff here. Um, as I finish, let me get one little fresh drink here. Just a tad more caffeine, because that's what I always need. And we're going to do a little three, two. Well, hello and welcome back. Once again, those bells, those Christmas bells, point out that this is a holiday episode. And this episode, we're going to get into Christmas movies because it's that time of year, or even holiday movies, if you want to get into that, especially if you're on the Hallmark channel or something like that. And there's like 4 billion of them. Before we do that, I'm here. I'm not gonna ho ho ho. I don't have a bowl full of jelly or anything, belly of jelly and all that kind of crap. I'm just Rob Broadhead. I'm one of the founders of Develpreneur.com. I'm Developreneur, also building better developers, this podcast, and a founder of RB Consulting, where it's Christmas every day when you work with us, because we take all of that crap that you got, just like when you Christmas, you got all of this stuff and you're trying to figure out how to get it home if you've gone somewhere. We help you with your technology sprawl, all those gifts you've gotten all the years of technology, and find a better way through integration, simplification, automation to utilize that stuff, to actually make it worthwhile instead of just putting it up on a shelf until a year from now when you go, oh yeah, I got that Christmas gift last year. We help you really make the most of your budget and all your efforts that go into your technology. In the good thing, bad thing sense, good thing is, got a customer this week that we finally got 2 months of billing headaches straightened out. And it was basically because it was like, hey, go talk to, shoot this email off here. And I did, and it kept bouncing. And I was like, I assumed it was something I did wrong, kept going back and forth. And it's finally, it's like, oh yeah, we changed this. It was one of those things. It's just like miscommunication. Finally got that straightened out. So it's like one headache I don't have to worry about as I wrap up the year. Bad thing is, it is that Christmas season, and we came into this like, okay, here's what we're going to do. Here's our budget. That has gone out the window. There's all kinds of little stuff. We're like, oh yeah, let's do this. Let's do that. Let's grant that thing. Let's do that thing. So, as always, January is going to be one of those where December is great. And you get into January and you're like, why did I buy so much stuff? Or why did I do so many things? But enjoy it while it lasts, because sooner or later the bills come, or something along those lines. Along those same lines, let's see how you're doing today. Go ahead and introduce yourself, Michael, and we'll step right into our holiday.
Hey everyone, my name is Michael Meloche. I'm one of the co-founders of Developreneur. I'm also the founder of Envision QA, where if you are a software shop or have custom applications that you have had built, if you have buggy software or problems maintaining them, we come in, we look at your systems, we walk through your current processes, and we bring a test-driven approach to software development, and we can help you fix or stabilize your products, make your customers happy, and kind of increasing the bottom line. Happy customers means more, hopefully more sales of your product. Good and bad. Good, it's the holiday season. All that wonderful, candy, popcorn, chocolate, sweets, and things that keep getting delivered or we keep buying at the grocery store to our heart's content. Bad thing, my waistline has gone up quite a bit this holiday season by eating too much junk. I think I'm going to have to do one of those faux pas New Year's resolutions where I'm going to lose weight. But yeah, no. Right now, I keep drinking and that eggnog and eating those Christmas cookies.
Yeah, that is part of the bills, and the diet programs come due in January. And so that's the same thing as I was really good. And it basically, by the time we got into Thanksgiving, just going the wrong direction. And it's tough because there's a lot of that where it's like all the sweets and all the other food and just the general food and drinks and stuff like that, way more than I need. And I'm too busy, so I'm not getting out and exercising enough. So yeah, January is going to be like catch up time, basically. Try to get all that stuff back in order. But for now, I enjoy it while it lasts. Christmas movies. This was great because one, I always think of like iconic, there are Christmas movies that are just, you have to watch basically every year, or I do. I feel, and this is going to be a challenge this year because there's a very short period of time between Thanksgiving and Christmas. And so there's going to be movies I'm probably going to miss that you won't watch this year. So next year I'll have to like figure out how to like really binge my way through them. And we've just been really busy, so we haven't had a lot of Christmas movie nights. And I don't want to throw her under the bus, but Natalie has several times we've sat down to watch like a traditional movie, and she's like, "Oh, I've never seen that," and so we go watch this other movie, which they're not bad, but it's like, wait a minute, I have stuff to do. I have Christmas movies I need to watch. So here it is at this point, almost Christmas. I haven't watched Die Hard yet this year. And this is one of those that like she's like, that's not a Christmas movie. And yet I forgive her. I know it's like it's just wrong. But Die Hard 2, haven't gotten to those. I haven't even watched any of the Santa Clauses movies. There's like several of these that I have not gotten into. Now, of course, I got like my elf fix. I don't think we haven't even watched Christmas Vacation yet. I mean, there's like a lot of these like I'm just realizing I have a lot of movies to watch in the next few days. I have got to really like crank out my movie per day, per diem kind of thing. I do want to mention this is not too long ago, Red One came out. And I think that I see that as being one of these movies that is really well done, that is going to be a recurring Christmas movie from here on out. The most recent previous one to that would be Netflix's Christmas Chronicles and Christmas Chronicles 2, both incredibly good movies, a lot of fun, very much like the old school Christmas movie, Santa Claus, blah, 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 all that kind of good stuff that is really like makes life that much better. I mean, we did get the Scrooge. We got like in the new Scrooge movie. If you haven't seen I think it's the DreamWorks version of it. It's a fun one. It's like an hour and a half or whatever, but very much a good movie. Came out about 4 or 5 years ago, and we got like the old school. Actually, we haven't. I was going to say I think we gotten Scrooge, but we haven't gotten Scrooged yet. So we've got a couple we've got to catch up on. What are your thoughts? Like some of your favorite Christmas movies and where you go during this season?
So, thanks to my mother years ago, she got us into watching the Hallmark Christmas shows every year. So we're working our way through that. It's just kind of our feel good movies. Footballs, we take breaks for that, but NASCAR's done. So I get Saturdays back to kind of watch some of my shows. So my top list, of course, Renee likes Die Hard. Die Hard 1 and 2 is her Christmas movie. So we cannot start watching Christmas movies till we watch that first. So, like, she is nipping at the butt. November 1st, can we watch Die Hard? I'm like, it's not even Thanksgiving yet. So this year, literally the day after Thanksgiving, we watched Die Hard. and we started our Christmas tradition. So this year, I have the argument that Iron Man 3 is a Christmas movie because it takes place over Christmas, it snows, and it ends with Christmas. So I'm arguing that Iron Man 3 should be a Christmas movie then if Die Hard's a Christmas movie.
So is Lethal Weapon? I just want to say because I've seen these arguments. And
Yeah.
also the Hawkeye, the series, the Disney when they did the Hawkeye series, that one is very much a Christmas series as well. So there's a lot of good Christmassy stuff out there.
I
Just
forgot
gotta
about
look.
that. I got to watch that one again. Not only that, but Hawkeye takes place well, they basically brought the Netflix Marvel series, like the Daredevil and all that, together in that one. So that was like a good series. Scrooge, gotta love Bill Murray, gotta love that one. That's actually so we have our certain classics we'll watch the week of Christmas. So like all this week is when we start watching these. So Scrooge is up next. Polar Express, love that movie. I am particularly a fan of the Snoopies. So, of course, I'm going to be doing the Snoopy Christmas. My wife won't. She doesn't like cartoons. So, her loss. Frosty and Rudolph, of course. Christmas Chronicles. We just watched the first one. We're about to watch the second one tonight. Got Grinch, both Grinches. I like the animated. She likes the Jim Carrey version. Both good. Different takes on it. We did watch the first Santa Claus movie, so that was good. We'll probably watch the second one. I kind of like the third one, but the third one's not really my favorite. And the Disney TV series, I just wasn't a fan. I don't know why. It just didn't quite have that magic. Um, so those are kind of like what's on the agenda to watch probably the next few days, get through that. And of course, like I said, the Hallmark movies, so we're cranking through those. Dis not Netflix actually had some good ones. So there was one with Brooke Shields, which was like in a castle. That was really good last year. We just rewatched that one. That one was pretty good. The Princess series that they did, a Christmas Prince or whatever, that was actually a pretty good series. Netflix actually had quite a few over the years. Now the Lindsay Lohan ones, I'm not overly a fan of that. But like during COVID and like pre-COVID, when Netflix really started investing in the Christmas shows, some of those are really good. So I think they're going to start becoming like, oh, we got to watch that next year. We got to watch that next year. So those are kind of nice. Disney, like you said, Hawkeye. That was a great one that they did. They tried to do the Santa Claus magic again. Hit or miss on that. But some of the streaming ones have some nice ones coming out. So it'll be interesting to see. We did watch Red One. So now that it's on streaming, we did watch that. And I actually liked it. But I think I understand why it didn't do well in the box office because it really felt like it was made more for TV streaming than it was for the theaters. I don't know why. I just, as we watched it, it just kind of had that feeling that this was more like targeted for streamers than moviegoers.
Yeah, I mean, it had some of the spectacle that you want out of a big, a big screen movie, but yeah, I think that could be part of it. It's just it was for us, it was great. It was a full theater when we saw it. We happened to, it was one of those things we just happened into it. Actually, we missed it. We were gonna go to an earlier showing, and they were sold out when we got there. And then we went back later and picked it up later, and it worked out really good. And it was a fun movie. I get that. I think that's part of it. It is one of those. That's I guess why I liked it. It's one of those that's very much suitable to just like watch it every year. It's moderately predictable even the first time you see it, so it's not like it's that much different. It did remind me that's another couple that I've started into. I always go through the first and second Home Alone. We've already got the first one of those done. And then also like some of the like one-offs, Christmas with the Cranks and Jingle All the Way. Some of those are always there. And then actually one that's very near and dear to my heart that's just because if it's not the happiest one is Family Stone because it's always around Christmas and family gatherings and stuff like that. It's always another good one. And then we wait till the end as we get to the end of the week because we probably will watch some Christmas movies after Christmas because we just got to catch up. And then there's always like Harry Met Sally to me is like the epitome of a New Year's kind of like getting in the New Year's kind of movie. But then we get into a little bit of the mushy romantic ones as well. But they're all good. And it is, to me, that's like part of the season is you just sit there, have like a nice warm drink, maybe have the fire going, throw a blanket over you and just sit there and watch some TV and just chill for a while, something like that. And maybe you're snacking along the way as well. Like we've gone through enough popcorn now that we don't need to do as much, but we still will. I'm sure we'll crank out some more popcorn and we'll be in good shape. So by the time we get in January, we're like, hey, we've used up all our popcorn allotment for the year. So we'll do it next time around. Oh, it's good, and it is. It's just one of those. That to me is like it's what it's about. Is having some of these traditions and setting some stuff up so that we can have a good time, enjoy the family and the times around there, and just sometimes it is, as we've talked about, it's good to just unplug a little bit and to just not worry about all the other work and all the other crap we've got, and just like veg a little bit. It may not be the best use of your time. It's like not productive necessarily or anything like that, but I think it is. Like there is a productive side of being able to just relax and allow your body to rest and recover and things like that. It's sort of like taking a long nap. And if you take a nap during some of these movies, bonus. You've gotten a little bit, you've got two birds with one stone. So you got your nap time in, and you managed to like once again watch one of those movies that just makes it, you know, it makes your heart a little bit lighter because you're able to like get through it again and enjoy that season. Closing thoughts from you?
Yeah, the other thing as you watch these, a lot of them are not necessarily just feel-good movies, but they are happy movies. Yes, there's some rom-coms, things of that nature, but there a lot of them aren't necessarily too violent. Granted, Red One is probably an exception to that, along with Die Hard, but you end up feeling a little de-stressed, a little happier. Instead of like all the bad news that happens every day, you get that kind of lift up feeling from watching these movies. The last thing I'll throw out, you didn't mention it, I didn't mention it, but A Christmas Story, the
Mhm.
leg lamb. I can't watch that anymore because all through school growing up, it literally was played on the channel every day in December, all the way through senior year of high school. That's all we had running on the TV in December. It's like, okay, I'm so tired of this movie, but it is a good movie. If you hear the leg lamp joke that came from that movie, you shoot your eye out that came from that movie. It's a good feel good movie. I just can't watch it anymore.
Yep, that is definitely one of those. And it's not been, I think that's me, is it was such a part of my childhood and growing up. I've seen it so many times that it is not on my regular list. Now, It's a Wonderful Life is, but that's partially because I actually never saw that movie ever until I was into my 40s, I think. It was like the first time I ever watched it. So it's a little more newish to me. Plus, it's just like it is a nice something that's very comforting about going to an old school black and white kind of thing. I don't get the colorized version. I've got the original black and white, and there's just something that very much like takes me back to childhood and stuff like that. So we will wrap this one up just as you probably need to wrap up some of your gifts as you're getting close to that time. As always, send us whatever you want, whether it's holiday greetings, whether it's questions, comments, concerns, suggestions, all of that stuff. Happy to get it. So happy that you have spent another year with us. And we'll next time around, we're going to talk about, sort of wrap up our holiday specials, talk about the new year, how we're going to dive into 2025 and how we're going to get things started so that as we get to this point a year from now, we are much, much better developers. We have built better developers and wrapping up that season have a lot of habits to take us into the future, basically. That being said, you guys go out there and have yourself a great day, a great week, great holiday season, and we'll talk to you next time. Bonus material. I don't even know if like that was like pretty good. Well, let's see. Is there any? I want to trying to think if there was a movie in there that we didn't cover that we want to mention. Like throw one more out there. And I'm trying to think of what's out there. Yeah, I did want to say the. I agree. The Santa Claus series. It was nice. It was fun enough to go back to see those. Last year I went because they did the season, and last year they did the second season. And last year it was like it was a little bit drudgery for me to go through the first season and then to get into the second season to just like run through all of those. So it was. It's not. It's good, but it's not to the level of like iconic Christmas stuff to me. There are definitely some good movies out there that are like one you'll catch here and there. We've seen some that are like borderline out there. Like we watched Bad Moms Christmas, which actually had like a couple of stories. It was like, oh, okay. It was like, and then we watched, oh shoot, there was one, I can't even think of the name of it now. That was another, it's an old one with Danny DeVito and I can't even think of the other one, but it was, one of those. It was like it was okay. It's a Christmas movie, but I love the arguments around like certain things, like the Harry Potter stuff. Those are always run during Christmas, and a lot of people almost call them Christmas movies because there is some, there's Christmas in it, but it's a whole year. And so the animated stuff, the claymation ones are also always in the favorite. We didn't really talking about those like um, I think it is. It's Frosty the Snowman is claymation. They've got that, and then some.
California Raisins Christmas special.
Yeah, I mean, you got some of those that are just like the stop motion or whatever they are. Those are always good. Classic movies, and it's just like whatever it is. All you guys out there, guys and gals, I recommend that you build some stuff around the end of the year. Whether it's if you're a Christmas celebrator, then that's the best way to just have some Christmas movies, some Christmas events, some things that you do. That's what I said is we're slowly building our own. Is like we had a whole bunch of stuff now as we move to a different season of life. We're building some other stuff up, but then there is always like Christmas movies are the things that like to tie it all the way back. And even whether it's how you take time off, whether it's like, some of the things that you do during this year because it's that time of year, because like just spending some time going out and like driving the neighborhoods and checking all the lights out and stuff like that. Those kinds of things, I think, just goes back to what Michael says. It allows us to have a little bit of happiness, a little bit of joy, a little bit of like getting away from all the negative crap that's out there. Oh, that was the bonus I was thinking about is especially in an election year. You've spent all year and all the ads and all the crap and stuff like that. And to get to the end of it and be like, we got through another election year. You should be very happy. And it's like you've earned some good, feel good, just happiness kinds of shows out there. Closing thoughts from you?
I had two bonuses. One, to me, it's not a Christmas movie; it's a Thanksgiving movie. But Miracle on 34th Street. You always have to watch that the day after, or on Thanksgiving or the day after Thanksgiving because it starts out with the Macy's Day Parade. Everyone goes to visit Santa Claus. So to me, that's more a Thanksgiving pre-Christmas holiday movie. But I love it. I prefer the black and white version versus the color, but that's just me. The other one is a Christmas movie, but it's from my favorite director who did my favorite Halloween movie, which is Trick or Treat. So this is actually a Christmas horror movie, Krampus. Not
Mm.
this. You got to look for the guy who did Trick or Treat and look for his Christmas one, and it's Krampus, and it is a Christmas horror-ish movie. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but I'm also a big Halloween movie guy as well. So for me, I always have to throw in at least one horror Christmas movie, and that's it every year.
I would say that actually reminds me. That is my other. That is the combo one. Is the Nightmare Before Christmas. Is that one? Is there's a lot of that. That one's very near and dear to my heart because I like all the stuff that Burton's done. Almost all the stuff, and always like Danny Elfman. Back to a huge Oingo Boingo fan all the way back. Things like that. Love the music. Love the style. And then also I have a guy that graduated college with me that was the first time he works with Disney and worked for them for years. And I think he's still working with them. And that was the first one where his name was in the credits. And I remember us going to theater in downtown Chicago and watching that movie and sitting there to the end until we could see his name in the 4 billion, names that are at the end of that. But it's just one, my kids love it. We've got the soundtrack. It's one of those that it's just like we sing along. It's a much to the chagrin of everybody that can hear us, but it is fun. One of those like combo kind of things that we usually don't do it around Thanksgiving or around October and Halloween, even though it is very Halloweenish. We usually try to get that. That's like some of those is like when I'm itching a little bit to have a Christmas movie. That's like perfect to throw in sometimes in November time frame, even before Thanksgiving, because it's like, well, I'm going to argue it's October and it's a Halloween thing, and we're a little late for a Halloween, even though it also does give us that Christmas kind of feel for the whole thing.
You mentioned Tim Burton, Edward Scissorhands, and Batman Returns. Almost Christmas movies to me.
Yeah, I think both of those. There's a lot of that. I think Batman Returns definitely because that's like the big thing is the Christmas tree lighting and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, that's old school, but there's some Christmassy. If you want some DC Christmas, then you can get Uh, Batman Returns. Is that what it was? No, was that one? Okay, Batman Returns was the second one. Um, and yeah, I'm sure there's some others out there. There's always the Christmas specials of stuff, except for the Star Wars Christmas special. Just avoid that like the plague. Don't ever watch it. I actually remember watching that when it was like first done, and it was years later that I'd blacked it out. It was years later that I was reminded that it even existed. It's one of those. It's a bit painful to watch. It's like, wow, you guys are really stretching, trying to get the Star Wars name into something and get it out there. Your marketing went too far. That being said, hopefully our marketing and our time has not gone too far. Thank you for spending your time with us. Go out there now and spend some time with your friends, your family, whatever it is, playing some games, whatever it is. Go out there, enjoy your holiday season, and we will catch you again next episode as we start our march to the end of the year, finish our march for this year, and we start into 2025. Go out there and have yourself a great one. We will talk to you next time.